All right, guys. So I wanted to do something a little bit different today. This past winter, I've been very into exploring uh, dance props. So one of the props that I've been really enjoying is one of our sort of classic uh, belly dance items, which is the veil. So veils come in a couple different varieties. So the most common is going to be our 3 yard veil, very often in a silk fabric, but you might also find this in a chiffon or another type of light, airy fabric. We also have 4 yard veils, which are very visually impressive, but I do recommend if this is your first foray into uh, dancing with veils, starting with your 3 yard. Um, this one I actually purchased recently from Amazon, so you can find a nice veil, a nice practice veil for pretty cheap online. I want to say this was maybe somewhere maybe like $40 or so. Um, so yeah, you can. These are pretty easy to find, even if you just type in, belly dance veil in a Google search. You'll come up with a lot of different options. These things, depending and the price does increase with the quality. You can also find really beautiful custom made veils. Um, for upwards of 70, $80 or more. So, but I do say, it doesn't have to be expensive to be really beautiful and fun to work with. So, just to get started, we're gonna. This is not gonna be. Um, well, let me backtrack. So, talking about veil in belly dance. So, I want to maybe talk about the history for just a second. So, belly dance with veil is actually not something that is super traditional in sort of classic Arabic styles of belly dance. I'm sure if you did, a YouTube search, you would find videos as far back as the golden era of Egyptian belly dance, with dancers using veil. This is very much something that is more of a theatrical prop generally. It was very common in the sort of American vintage era, so like the 1960s and 70s, in the sort of restaurant nightclub scene, as part of the 5 part cabaret, as it was then called, dance routine. So it was kind of a prop that dancers, at least in the United States, for the past 50 plus years, it was very much a prop that most dancers were sort of expected to have some familiarity with. Now, for me, I enjoy dancing with veil, but I really do see this in the lens of being more so like a flow prop. So, thinking of things like, uh, you know, hula hoop or poi spinning or staff, or even fan veils. I really put that, at least in our fusion context, in the sense of a flow toy. So with that, yes, we have certain movements that we can do, certain tricks that are very visually appealing for an audience. But it really is something where we're just kind of feeling into it, and having a sense of play, and a sense of that improvisational surprise almost. That being said, if you are taking that route of maybe becoming, or adding a veil to a performance situation, of course, you're going to want to make sure that you don't get yourself into a position that you can't get yourself out of. Um, Maybe trying something new for the first time in that sort of context is going to end up maybe with the veil getting a little tangled, or just in an awkward position. So, you definitely want to get your practice in before taking this out, into uh, the public sphere, as it were, just with any sort of art, I guess. So today I just wanted to have this be a little bit of an intro, just sort of play with some very easy movements and tosses. Um, Again, just kind of a relaxed flow, not taking it too serious. If the veil flies in your face or, like I said, you get tangled up or in a weird position, no worries. This is just our practice. This is just for the sake of exploration and play. Okay, so just to get started, I guess we'll just touch quickly on grip. So I don't personally, I don't think that there is one right or wrong way to hold your veil. In general, I'll usually grip my veil between my thumb and my first finger and kind of like wrapping my middle finger underneath. So I don't know if you can see that, but so the veil is over my thumb. I'm kind of gripping it with that index finger and then allowing the middle finger to kind of drape underneath like so. But again, I think it's important to not get too hung up on the details in that respect because you might be dancing along and everything's great and then you maybe try something new or different and then you're like, oh no, I'm not gripping it the right way or what have you. So as long as you have a firm grasp on your veil, I don't really think it matters. um, it's really what you find comfortable. And as far as finding where to grip your veil, I kind of feel like it needs to be something that you, again, explore a little bit. I like to kind of open my arms fairly straight and have it, and when I'm in this position, the veil is going to be taut, but still has a little bit of give. So, and also if you can see, there's going to be a little bit of fabric that's kind of hanging off down on the side. But again, I encourage you to play around with it a little bit and see what's comfortable for you. So just to get started, a lot of times in the belly dance world, if you watch some different veil performance videos, there's kind of two common ways that dancers will enter the stage with a veil. And the first way, and this is something that I feel like has been very common in recent years, is having this sort of dramatic entrance. So, the veil is maybe lifted high and we're doing a lot of travel moves, letting the air kind of catch underneath the veil, big energy, very expanded and open. But you also have the option, and this is more of a traditional way of doing it, is perhaps doing a veil wrap. Again, I'm not gonna go too deep into veil wraps. Maybe that can be something for another video. I really want to just get us moving. So on that note, I've already talked enough about veil. So let's get to dancing here. I'm just gonna put on a little piece of music. I'm just gonna put some random music on, and we'll just play a little bit today. All right. So first thing that I want to introduce is just a very basic veil lift, I guess you could call it. So more or less, you're going to bring the veil up in front of you, and as you start to get toward over your head, you're actually opening the veil up and kind of flicking it behind you. And you can go in the opposite direction. We're coming up and down. And as you're coming down past the head, you are thinking about sort of closing that veil in. So it's an up and open, and then up and close. Up and over. Up and over. Down. All right, and from here, I want to go into just a very simple crossing the veil over the front of the body, down and out. So it's across, palm, as you're coming across, palm is facing down, and then as you open, the palm faces up. So it's an over and out, crossing over the front and opening. And this is a really nice one that you can do with maybe a cross touch, cross, or even a step, touch, step, touch, step, touch, step. Another common one that I see a lot with veil dancing is a 1, 2, 3. So cross, open, open. Parabore. 2, 3. Step, out, out. 2, 3. So it's the same sweeping technique, but we are adding that little foot pattern. And you could do this with any sort of foot pattern, really. You could do with your basic grapevine, maybe 1, 2, or our 5-step, which is always a go-to for me. I think it's very beautiful and dramatic. Okay. Or we can do just a little flick like that. So and it almost creates this sort of skirt feeling with the veil. So let's just play with that real quick. So we'll come down here and then we'll open. And again, if your veil gets caught, don't stress. It's all part of the process of learning. And then we're going to swoop, 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 swoop. All right, so come down again. And we come up and open. Swoop, 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 swoop. Down, up. Swoop, swoop, swoop. One more time. Come forward. And up. Swoop, swoop, swoop. All right, very nice. So from there, I want to just open up. So our arms are in this second position, and we're just going to take it into a turn. So just a simple turn, and really just get a sense of that air moving through the veil. You can even bring one arm up and one arm down. Switch, turn, switch, turn, turn, and up, and then we'll come back down, and we'll sweep, and sweep, sweep, and sweep, up. I don't know why it's getting caught on my head every time today. We're down here, and then we'll open up. So another thing that's really kind of fun to do with veil is framing the body and really sort of milking or hamming up certain poses. And it's really nice too if it's really nice too if you're trying to kind of create a frame for a certain part of the body. So let's say I tossed my veil forward, and then maybe I want to do some hip moves. So I'm gonna just hold the veil down here, so you see this very nice arc here, and that's really going to display any sort of hip movement that I want to do in a really beautiful way. Okay, and same thing, this idea with the veil of revealing, hiding and and revealing, basically. So moments where perhaps the energy is a little bit more inward, and you're not necessarily closed off, but it is to yourself, versus again opening up to an audience, or even if you're just sort of dancing on your own. So again, maybe I'm here and I'm doing some lovely hip work, and then you can bring that veil up, and then now you are kind of uh, creating a what's the word I'm looking for? You're veiling the front part of the body, right? So at that point, maybe you want to reach the hand above the head. Maybe we're going to play with some arm movements here. And again, I said this in the beginning, but play is really the name of the game here. So exploring, looking, watching yourself in the mirror, seeing what looks good, what you like aesthetically. But back to the movement. So let's see, let's do that move next. So one move that I really like is it makes me think of like a bullfighter sort of vibe. So it's sort of a weave with the veil. So let's say you have the veil in front of you here, and we just did our lovely hip moves. We did some arm work, very nice, and then we're going to come back here and we're going to do our weave. So we're going to take, we'll start with the left hand. The left hand is going to go under the right arm, and as you are doing that, the right hand is coming across the body, and you're going to have it land sort of right on the shoulder here, and then the left opens up like so. So this is where the sort of bullfighter analogy comes in for me. So again, and then if we want to take it across to the other side, crossing the left over, opening on the right, like so. So it's under and out, under, oh, excuse me, open, under, I'm overthinking it, and out. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, out. So under, open, to the shoulder, out. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're kind of creating this sort of circle shape with the veil. And this, what I'm doing here is not necessarily how I would personally stylize this move. I just wanted you to kind of get a sense of how the veil is moving through space here. Almost kind of reminds me of like maybe even sort of stirring a cauldron here. 2, 3, out. 1, 2, 3, and around. Out. And then from here, I've been really enjoying these sort of big veil tosses where you're kind of creating a circle with your arm, and the veil is going to come up and cascade down. I don't know if you could see that. So we just did our kind of swirly move here, and then from there I'm going to bring the veil up and toss over my shoulder. And again, this is a point where maybe we come up and we're going to do something where you can't really see necessarily what's going on, and coming back down, and then we swirl to the other side, toss over. Or again, we can kind of have this diagonal and maybe take it with a turn. Okay, so again, I'm going to swirl around, toss it, and then I really like taking that turn there. So we'll do that again on this side. We swirl around, toss over, and then circle around yourself. One more time on the left, and then we'll try it on the right. Toss, take it around yourself. All right, so we were this way. So now we take it on the right side, up and over, and then take it with a turn. So again, we take it to the right, toss over, and in a circle. So let's take that from our top move here. So we're going to come up with a toss, our little crisscross move here, 7, 8, and then I'm going to just take a turn here, and then I'm going to bring it over and around to the side, toss it over, and then another circle around myself. Okay, let's try that again. So we toss, cross, 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 open arm turn, and then we'll take it around, circle toss, circle around yourself. Okay, so let's try that again. This time I want to do that swivel turn here on the right side. So let's try that. And we toss and cross, cross, one more time, and circle around yourself, and we start on the left, go to the right, and toss over the shoulder and circle around yourself. And again, taking that moment to frame the hips, any sort of movement you like, and we'll toss, swish, swish, circle around, crossing, then we'll just toss, circle around, and then coming back down with some hip moves. Okay, very nice. So from here, let's work on this move here. Actually, before we do that, I want to do one more move that is sort of adjacent to this first swish that we did. So this is more of, you're creating kind of like an S shape with the veil. So you're coming up high, and then you sort of are cascading down, like so. So we flick up and bring it down, and up and open, up and down. Try it on the other side. Ooh, sorry. So we come up and flow down, up, flow down, up and down, up, flow down. Toss, S shape. See, this is what I'm talking about. You gotta kind of be aware of your veil at all times. Make sure we're not stepping on it. That's another real hazard when we're dancing with veil. But let's get back to the S cascade. So we flick up, come down, flick up, come down, up and down, up and down. Together, out. So up and down, up and down, up and down. So let's try low, 4, up, up, cross, cross, S, S, cross, cross, flick, and down. Let's just do that on one side, up and down, on the right, on the left, on the right, on the left, on the right, on the left. So right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. All right, now I want to do an extension. So we were doing our swivelly swirly guy here. Now from here, instead of stopping at the shoulder, you would actually, for this variation, you're bringing the arm up and over. so that circle is kind of coming all around the body. And I really enjoy this variation too. I think there's just something really beautiful about it. All right, and then we'll try the other direction. Ooh. Take it to the right. Onto the shoulder, and then we'll toss again. Now from here, I want to introduce a different move, and this is one that I think is a lot of fun. You can kind of do it in a couple different ways. So to begin, we're going to kind of toss the veil up, and the idea here is to catch the veil on the neck. So we come up like so. So veil comes up, and then the arms are going up and under to sort of create like this, I want to say cowl sort of look. So hold on, let me start again here. So we bring the veil up under the neck, and the arms come under. So just to get out of that, like so, come up, there, and down. So that's one way to get into this, is to kind of just bring the veil right up, like so. So arms come under, and the veil kind of drapes over the neck. And this is another one that kind of takes a little bit of practice and getting a sense of how your veil flows, how it catches the air, the weightiness of it. And if it kind of gets in your face a little bit, it's fine. It's kind of easy, as you can see. It kind of easy to correct if that happens. So we're coming up and bringing it down. Coming up, ooh, and down. Come up. And it does help a little bit, I find, to step into it. So we step and step back. Come up and back. And you'll find also, you don't necessarily need to think about the veil coming up on the neck. Just that movement of bringing the arms under kind of floats the veil up. Okay, so we're here. And from here we can do a few different things. So this might be a moment where we want to hit some nice flowy arm movements. This is another nice position for turns. And you can kind of see how the veils sort of follow each other. If we're turning this way, it's not wrong, maybe not quite as lovely as when the wind catches underneath in that way. But here we can also, again, if you wanted to even do some sweeps here, that's an option. We have this lovely like winged effect, which is very nice. But we can also play around with how the veil is falling here. So we can have one side up, coming up on the left shoulder, and then we can bring the right side down, or the left as well. So let me try this again. I'm gonna come up, a little off center here. I'm sorry, getting too excited by all the colors. So we come up, and then down, down. We can toss over the shoulder, down and down. So it's over the shoulder, or maybe down at the same time. So it's over, down, down, over, down, down. And you might find, I mean, we are definitely working our arms out quite a bit on this one. But at least for me, I find like I'm definitely feeling it in my arms. Like it does require more strength than it seems to really lift a very light piece of fabric. So we come over and switch. So the mechanics are the same. So I would say starting with up, up, down, down, up, up, down, down. But this time we are alternating. So we have one up. Oh my goodness gracious. We have one up in front of us and one behind. And then we're just going to flip flop. So we do a toss and switch sides. So it's a toss, up and over, toss, up and over, toss, up and over, and come on down. All right, that move is a little bit trickier, but again, this is just to give you some fuel to play with in your practice. Coming up and over, and again, it does not have to be on the shoulder. It can be more so on the arm in general. I feel like for this move right now, I'm kind of hitting on my elbow, so it's an up and an up, creating this sort of figure eight pattern in space. All right, very nice. All right, so let's see. All right, so we've kind of gone for a good 30 minutes here. So I just want to wrap it up, I guess. So at this point, I'm going to take a quick sip of water, put something on, and then this is going to be kind of your opportunity to take the moves that we went over for this introductory class and just play around a little bit. And you can do, again, working within these movements or explore what you like on your own. So again, I'm going to pop on our last piece of music and we'll just kind of goof around a little bit. Whew. Okay. All right, guys, excellent work with that. Thank you for bearing with me. I know that was kind of a quick run through of a lot of information, but I hope you enjoyed it. And I know I did, so I'm hoping to add a little bit more veil work in the future. So um, again, keep playing with that, working with that, and I'll see you for the next one. Thank you.